in matric you already had your son, yet you took a trophy home as well as breaking a record completely and being the first girl. Do you think that your son encouraged you to accomplish this,
He
or what?
definitely did, because if it wasn't for him, because I fell pregnant in grade 11 and I had my son early in my matric year, and while I was in school, the one teacher, she always told me, and if it wasn't for her, everything would have gone worse, because she told me, eventually you're not going to be able to hide your baby. Don't be shy about your pregnancy. Just remember, everything you're doing now, you're doing for your son or for your daughter. And so the one day that girls that came up to me, they said, I'm hearing stories that you're pregnant. Is it true? And I told them, yes, it's true. What you're going to do about it? And they said, oh, nothing. And I turned around and I walked away. I was like, okay, so this is actually working. But as soon as you tell them no and you want to hide your pregnancy, at the end of the day, you're not going to be able to hide your child.
Yeah.
So that's when the gossip starts. And I just stood strong. And the first day, like Labaskachni taught me, stand strong.
Wow.
And if it wasn't for teacher Labaskachni, I never would have been able to do that, because she taught me from day one, don't be shy, be proud of it, show them what you can accomplish. And I had my battles in the civil engineering class. We were 2 girls in the class. And there's one boy, he always liked to tease and said, the only reason she's doing so good in civil engineering is because the teachers are giving me advantage because I'm pregnant. But I'm the one that actually was selling him, my notes. I was selling him my notes and my summaries. He was buying them from me and still failing the test. But he was the one buying from me, but always saying the teachers are giving me advantage above him. But I did good in civil engineering even before I fell pregnant. But he couldn't compete with the fact that I was a girl that was first in the class. He never could deal with it. So I had my battles, and the children, the boys, they were the issues, not the girls. But eventually I just showed them, you know what, I'm better than that. I can do it while I'm pregnant. You're not even pregnant and you're failing. What's your excuse?
Wow.
That's the attitude I had.
Sheesh. Would you recommend other girls to do the same, having a child perhaps in grade 11 or so?
No, I would not recommend it. I won't, definitely. But if it happens, I won't say give up, because it is possible. There is a way to get through it, and there's a way to still study. Doesn't matter if it's later in life or if you do it right after school. Just push through and get through it. But I won't say do it while in school, because it's hard. It works on your self-esteem. It's something hard to go through, and trying to go to school while breastfeeding and all these kind of things, it's the most difficult thing, and you don't get to spend all that time with your son, because you have to leave him by someone. And if you're lucky enough to have your mom taking care of your baby while you're going to school, supporting you, because most of the times dads run away. I was one of the only girls whose dads are married to the man. The other girls, that I'm not talking bad about them, but because they are providing for their children, women alone. But the dads, they ran away. I was one of the lucky ones. And
what do you think, or what is the characteristics of your husband that made you so lucky?
Well, he has his heart for children is as big as a
boulder.
He's got, for children, he will just walk in town and there'll be like a baby in a shopping cart, and he'll just walk past the baby and pull a face for the baby. Or he'll go buy a sweetie and he'll go give it to the baby. And for children, he would do anything for any children, no matter who they are or where they come from. And just the way he cares, and yeah.
How did you know that he was the right guy for you?
We actually, I always went out with people that were more like my dad. Okay. I had an ex that used to like to beat me as my dad did. And it didn't last long, and I walked out of it. And the one day we actually had a fight, and I told him, you know what, I don't want the same nonsense. Every time we fight, I would say the worst things, because I was fighting the way my mother and my father would used to fight. And for me, it was always never ever he would once turn around and say anything towards me like I would say towards him. I would say the worst things, and he would never ever turn around and tell me you're a this or a that, not even raise his voice up to a level where I can say I'm getting scared. He was always gentle, and he always kept in mind what he was saying before he said it, even though I was going berserk. Yeah.
Okay, could you tell me a brief outline of your life from birth to your current state in life?